Wow. Hello folks, this is Steve AB4L. I'm in Cedar Falls. The deep river is there. We've been here, well, it was maybe a month ago. Now you know this is part of the old mill project, that building there. You can see the signs. But a while back I came out here because I noticed that they had planted some poles, and we noted that there was 3 tiers, and now we know what they were up to, and it was what I was predicting, but I didn't know what the feed direction would be. It starts with that pole over there, and I'm almost certain that the next pole is the line that has recently been strung across the deep river coming down the hill. Now that's like a spur, because I'm going to say it's connecting to the old lines going up that hill. But let's look at this. Uh-oh. I thought it was going to be an official sign. Okay, there's a view of it, right? Let's step like this and see it, how straight it is. See how straight it is? Now the old power lines were on the other side, and they have been, that one must have fed the factory, but it continued down that way. But this is now the new, but let's look at the signs. This has recently been all cleared. If you leave trash, you are trash. Oh, and I can see on the next pole, there's signs facing the other way that I'll bet they say the same thing. Now that red thing down there is for underground water line. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to pull out here so you see the first pole of this section, and then I'm going to drive down that way because I can see that they really did a lot of work and that there are new poles further down that weren't there when I made the video showing you the newly planted ones by this parking area in front of the old mill project, old factory building here in Cedar Falls. So I'm going to get back into my car and we're going to go and see how far it goes. So we're going to pick up with my dash cam. Let's pause. All right, folks, we're ready to continue. We're facing and looking at the first pole that I noticed and walked up to back, what was a month ago, whatever it was, when it was a bare pole and they just had the three things up top. And I was wondering, where is it going to go to? Now, at that time, these poles here in the old parking lot were here, and they were on this side only, the ones that we can see. So now I'm going to leave the parking lot. You can see the old ones on the right side and the new ones on the left, and they've been strung, and I assume they're electrified. And now when it gets to here on the left side, it crosses the road. Let's see how far up the new poles go. We can see the new one here, we can see the old one here with a sign that says private property. There's a new one to the right. We can see some of the old pole that's been truncated to carry the telephone cables. And there's the big new one going into the woods, and that's where it ends. That's where it ends. It doesn't go beyond that at the current moment. Now I'm going to drive up here to turn around, but I'll explain what it is. To the left, right here, did you see the wires going across? We'll see when I come back. Down to the left was where the local generator was for the factory when it used the dam that's here on the left that you can't see to spin a turbine to produce electricity. Remember, the original mill, the raceway crossed what is the road now. It went downhill and behind the factory buildings and ran a paddle wheel. Then after that, presumably they used steam engines. And then after that, when electric motors came in, if you couldn't buy it off the electricity off the grid, presumably that's when they installed their first generators in the, see this bamboo? Generators that were in the river at the dam right here to the right, which you can't see. Isn't it beautiful here? I'll call it out again. We can't see anything to the right. It's all overgrown. It drops down about 30 feet, and if you were to get out of your car and walk down to the, see the over, there's nobody coming. See the overhead electrical wires? Those were the connection to the grid or to the factory for the generator down on the right side at the dam. Now we're seeing the new installation coming back from it this way. Yes, the housing and stuff here is from the original way back little settlements along the river here when the original factory opened down here, which is part of the history of the old mill project. And this new four-way recently put in. My understanding is that there was one prior, and then for whatever reason they took it out, but now the four-way's back. And look to the right, and I told you that, and you can see it, that this pole that's there in the a little ahead, the wires actually go across the river and up the hill to 64. All right? And the proof of that is that you can see that the feed along here is lower caliber, lower carrying capacity than what the poles we saw that were put in facing the old factory. And with that, I'll shut my mouth This is Steve AB40 We've been waiting for the rain. Just out having fun. Saying see you in 73.